Alright, welcome to my poorly led video, but today I really wanted to do a quick review of the T-Mobile home internet. This is in the 5G variant. I think they offer two different variants, one in 5G and one in not 5G. So this one will be in the 5G variant. It is the $50 a month subscription version of it, which means that I get 5G speeds obviously and unlimited data without any throttling. I wanted to do a quick review of this because I feel like reviewing this won't take too long. And if you are considering something like this or CenturyLink, Xfinity, I think Time Warner is on like the East Coast, whatever your major ISP is, I feel like this video might help. So let's get right into it. First, I want to start off with some of the pros, well, all of the pros that I have for this T-Mobile home internet. Pro number one is that it's cheap, $50 a month even. There's no additional tax or anything like that, so I think the price is pretty good for what you get, 5G internet and unlimited data. I have used a little over 1.2 terabytes of data in the last month. So it is truly unlimited. And if you're wondering how I could possibly use that much bandwidth, video game sizes these days are absolutely massive, so there's that. So $50 a month, very cheap, very affordable. First pro. Next pro of this device is that the unlimited data that I had just mentioned a moment ago actually truly seems unlimited. I know there's a lot of internet providers out there where once you hit like a threshold of data used, they start throttling your speeds. Like I said, I hit 1.2 terabytes of data last month and I did not notice any slowdowns as far as I could tell. So truly unlimited data, truly unlimited internet, no throttling based on usage, at least for me, at least from what I've noticed. Next pro is that this device has its own battery, so if the power goes out, theoretically you should still be able to use your internet as long as there is internet connectivity, like the towers are still online or whatever. If the power goes out, this has its own internal battery, which will give it about 2 days worth of a charge. I haven't done a battery drain test on it to be certain about that, but like several weeks ago I did unplug it for about a couple of days and it would still be going. So for me at least, going a couple of days I still had power and it's still working. Having said that, for the next pro, you can take this thing pretty much anywhere as long as it has service and a signal. So if you were to go camping, on a road trip, just staying out of state in a hotel somewhere, theoretically you could take this with you and it should still be able to work as long as it has service in the area. Can't say for sure that every area is going to have service for T-Mobile, especially not in the 5G variant, but if it does, you can take this there and it should theoretically be kind of like a hotspot for you, so you can use your internet that you're paying for anywhere that you can get service, instead of having to pay hotels for their internet fees or what have you. Now, that was a pretty short list for my pros, because now I'm going to start talking about the cons of this thing. Con number one, and these aren't in like any kind of particular order, and I might forget the number that I'm at. So, first con, this can be very unreliable. I have had several instances where the internet just cuts off. It still has power, but the internet just stops working for some reason or another, which would be very bad if you are in the middle of some kind of video conference call or any kind of conference call over the internet and you're using this, or if you're playing an online video game like Diablo or Destiny 2. Because if you lose the internet, guess what? You can't play those games anymore. There are even some games out there where they're single player where you need an internet connection to play them still. So if you're losing internet connection, you won't be able to play your games. This really sucks, and this has happened to me too many times. Another con for this is that the antenna is not very strong. So if you place this on one end of the house and you're trying to use it on the other end of the house, and the signal's trying to get through like a couple walls or what have you, you may get, more than likely, you will get a reduced signal strength from this device. At least in my case, I have my device set up in my bedroom window. Seems to be where I get the best service or signal strength, and I work not too far away from it in the dining room at my desk, and signal strength goes down a little bit, not too bad, but I can only imagine how bad it would be in a bigger house and with more walls in between and a further distance, especially without a range extender. Another con for this is that signal strength can be very hit or miss in the antenna itself or the device itself, because this isn't connected to some sort of phone cable or coaxial whatever. It's purely wireless, so its signal strength can be pretty weak depending on where you set it in your house. You really want to set this by window because that's where you get your strongest strength. For me, my strongest strength was in my bedroom and my bedroom window. You definitely don't want to set this in like your bathroom or something because you're not going to get much of any kind of signal strength. But signal strength can be very hit or miss, at least for me in my area. I think I tend to get stronger signal strength on my phone using the actual phone wireless network versus using this. With this, the strongest strength I can get is about 3 bars. So depending on where you live, signal strength can be very weak. Now for the next con, even though I was just saying not too long ago that there doesn't seem to be any throttling for hitting a certain network usage threshold, you can still get throttled based off of the network usage time. So if it's more congested during the time that you want to use your internet, congested between all the T-Mobile wireless users, that means like phones and whatever else have you, this will get, I'm pretty sure, the least priority. So you will get slower speeds. It'll be throttled based on the congestion of the network. You do get throttle speeds based off of congestion from other ISPs such as Xfinity, but with this already being slower than my Xfinity and less reliable, it really sucks when it gets throttled because of network congestion. Another con for this, at least for me, because it can be different based on whoever is using this, based on their signal strength that they can actually get to this thing. But for me at 3 bars, it's definitely quite a bit slower than the Xfinity internet that I also have here in this house. The only reason why I use this really is because my work pays for it, but it is slower. But the caveat again is that I can only get about 3 bars of signal strength in this thing. So it could be faster depending on where you live. It could be slower depending on where you live. That's one thing that really sucks about this, is that it's really dependent on the signal strength that you can get depending on the placement of your house or wherever that you set this thing out, versus something like Comcast where it just plugs directly into the internet cable and you're good to go. Signal strength doesn't really change. So like I said, it's not quite as fast, not quite as consistent, but I will say that even at 3 bars, it is fast enough for me to stream 4K videos, movies, TV shows, what have you. It does also allow me to download games at a reasonable speed and upload videos at a reasonable speed. So for 50 bucks, I think at 3 bars of signal strength, it's pretty good. It works. It's fast enough. Just wished it was more reliable, but it's definitely fast enough at 3 bars. Now the final con that I have for this thing, it kind of goes against my point of taking it anywhere and really having the internal battery, and it could also just be my unit, so take that with a grain of salt. It could just be my unit's a little dysfunctional, but if I may. When this thing gets unplugged from the power, it sort of resets itself, and then I can't use it on anything anymore. Nothing will connect to this or even find it discoverable if this is not connected to a power source. And so, like I said, it could be that my unit is defective, but it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it having an internal battery. If when it gets unplugged or loses its power source, then it's unusable because nothing will find it discoverable and won't connect to it. So really sucks. I should get in contact with T-Mobile and see what's going on about that, if that is what it's supposed to do or not supposed to do. I'm thinking that it's not supposed to do that based on the fact that it has an internal power source. So you can see it's not plugged in and it does have signal strength. It's obviously on, but I can't connect to it when it's not connected to a power source. So that's pretty dumb if you ask me. And I found this out the hard way because I was going on vacation like a month or two ago. And I was going to take this with me to use it as sort of a portable or traveling hotspot because I was also in a meeting on our way to our vacation spot. And so I was hoping to be able to use this on my laptop so I can continue my meeting, but as soon as I unplugged it, my laptop couldn't find it anymore, so I couldn't use it, so I had to use a hotspot for my cell phone. So I need to get in contact with T-Mobile about this, see if this is actually a feature or not. If I do get in contact with them before I upload this video, I'll add a little note on what they say, if this is how it's supposed to be or not. But regardless, as of right now, it defeats the whole purpose of it having internal power. When it loses that power delivery, it can't be used anymore. It's just a powered on brick at this point, or at that point. So all in all, I would say that if your only other option is something like CenturyLink where the speeds are atrocious, this is probably going to be a better option as long as you have the service in your area and are able to get a strong enough signal strength. Otherwise, I know Comcast Xfinity is more expensive than $50. I know it comes with some more caveats, but with this, it's not as reliable. This thing cuts out on me for internet at least a couple times a week, at least. Well, really, that's like the main thing. It's slower, but I mean, the speeds are fast enough to pretty much do whatever people typically want to do it. But the main problem I have with this thing is its reliability, because when it cuts out and doesn't have internet access anymore, or whatever device is connected to it for some reason can't get any internet from it, it really sucks because it'll be down anywhere from I would say like 15 minutes to maybe a few hours, if not longer. And during those times, whenever it does cut out, I typically just switch back to my Xfinity provider because I know that that one's going to work. So the reliability of this thing is very unfortunate. I really love the price point. Speeds are decent enough. I mean, it makes sense for the price. It's more than good enough for the price. But the reliability is what really kills me with this thing. Because if you can't rely on your internet to be there for you when you need to do important things, like video conferencing for work, uploading videos if you're a content creator, or photos, because if this thing cuts out in mid-upload, it's going to throw it all off whack, maybe even destroy or corrupt whatever file you're uploading. Not like from its source, but to whatever you're uploading it to, like YouTube. It's really unfortunate that this thing can't be reliable. Anyways, that's my quick review for this thing. Yeah, I guess I'll catch you later. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't, dislike. If you have any additional questions, ask them down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you later. Peace.